Hello and good evening. Today it is Sunday, January 10th, 2021. And for this video today, it is obviously Sunday, so that means it is time for us to round up once again. So, unlike the last weekly roundup video, which was made about a few days ago, this one will actually be made and uploaded on time, and rightfully so. It's about time. Last Sunday was not the best day. I had some stuff to work on and I just didn't have time for this. But this Sunday, this time around, this will be made on time. As I said in my last roundup video, I did say that I would do an extra video to sit down and talk about the World Juniors a little bit, and that is uploaded as I'm filming this, so you guys can watch that if you want to. And it does actually have visuals, unlike this weekly roundup podcast video today. So maybe starting in February, I might just change the title to Rockzilla's Weekly Roundup Podcast. Maybe that's what I should start calling it in the title. If you think that's a good idea, leave a comment below and let me know, because that's something that just popped in my head now. And actually, it might be an idea worth exploring a little further. So the NFL wild card round was this weekend. So as I've been doing every Sunday during this NFL season, I've been sitting down and sharing my thoughts on all of the uniform matchups. So there were only 6 games this time around. However, that is 33.3% more games than we usually get in the wild card weekend, because this year, the NFL expanded the postseason to allow a third wildcard team in each conference to qualify for the playoffs. And personally, I think it's fantastic that the NFL has done this, because I think that there are a lot of times teams that miss that if they were in the playoffs as a 7th seed, they do have at least a 500 record. And even this season, if it wasn't for the extra wild card spot, you would have had the Baltimore Ravens, I believe, or the Indianapolis Colts. Actually, let me see. Number 1 in each conference. I'm actually going to take a moment here to look at the conference matchups and the rankings, because wild card games. So, okay, let's see. I don't know, NFL playoff picture. Yeah, I don't know why that doesn't just pop up when I type it in on Google. So, okay, this is just... All right, I'm not going to wait for the website I'm looking at to pop up, because I don't know if there's some random audio whatever, because let's see. And the problem is that if you wait for it to pop up, a lot of times you have random sites that do random visual or audio commercials or whatever, and you hear sound and it's like, no thanks. And here on YouTube, if a company hears that, or an algorithm picks up something from a video, you might actually get a potential copyright strike for the dumbest of reasons, which is BS. So, okay, real quickly, we have the Bills and the Colts, 2nd and 7th, Seattle 3rd, 6th. So if it wasn't for that extra wild card seed, the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears would have missed the playoffs this year. So those were both teams that, in my opinion, definitely deserved that extra playoff spot. And you know what? I have definitely felt that after seeing the Rams, and I believe it was the Steelers last season that just missed the playoffs, that, you know what? Having that extra playoff spot is great. And next season, though, the NFL is expanding the regular season by an extra week, which I don't know if they really needed to do that personally, but I think that also, I think in the short term, if they did that to offset the losses from the pandemic, that might be a good idea. But I don't know if the NFL really needs to expand their regular season by an extra game. But considering that we've been dealing with this pandemic for almost a year now here in North America, um, I do think that over time, that extra week of sold out stadiums across the NFL will help to make back some of the money that they've lost this year due to COVID-19. So instead of only having 4 games, due to those 2 extra playoff spots, we now get 3 games in each conference in the wild card weekend starting this weekend moving forward. So I'll start with the first game from Saturday, the Colts and the Bills. The Bills wore their home uniform properly, royal blue jersey, royal blue socks, white helmet, and white pants. Their best uniform, in my opinion, looked great. And the Colts, they were stormtroopers. No blue socks, just all white. Big mistake. When the Colts wear that uniform with blue socks, it's perfect. I absolutely think it's gorgeous. And thankfully, that black Nike logo, or as the Colts would call it, Anvil Black, because hey, let's try and shoehorn a new additional unneeded shade into our color scheme so that we can eventually push a new black third jersey at some point, which is dumb. The Colts should not do it. They're the Maple Leafs of the NFL. They should be blue and white always. Sorry for the small side rant there, but I just had to get that off my chest like I've done 100 times already. But if the Colts would have wore their royal blue socks in that match yesterday, that would have been one of the best, most beautiful uniform matchups all season long. And it still looked great. It's just the white socks making them look like stormtroopers just is not a good look. That's why you need a little bit of a color, like for example, a royal blue sock to break up all that white and to provide you some beautiful contrast. It's a small change that makes all the difference. Now, moving on to the Rams-Seahawks game, the Seahawks wore monochrome navy as they almost always do, and the Rams decided to wear their blue pants and socks with their Bone Away uniform. The jerseys look completely out of place with the uniforms. I still don't understand why the Rams elected to go with a bone jersey. They're one of the absolute last teams that should ever wear a non-white away uniform. Yet, ironically, here I've been for how many years now saying that, hey, I think it'd be great to see a team wear an away uniform that isn't white. Do I still think it's cool that the Rams tried to be creative here? Yeah, I can't say it isn't creative, but they weren't. I did not get my way on that one because I wanted the Rams to go back to their Eric Dickerson era 80s throwback uniforms full time. I figured they were wearing full-time royal blue and gold retros at home for the past 2 or 3 seasons. Why not just go the extra mile and bring back the matching away uniform? But no, they just had to royally goof up and screw this up. So yeah, the Rams wore their bone jersey with their new royal blue yoga pant look, and it was not pretty. The Seahawks uniforms, I've never disliked them, but I am going to have to be honest here. Hearing that NFL one helmet rule might be coming to an end after this season, it's making me want the Seahawks to bring back their royal blue throwbacks more and more and more and more. I do think their home uniform is definitely the worst uniform they have. I'd actually rather see the Seahawks wear their action green jersey as their home jersey full time and with action green socks and navy pants instead of the navy blue because I don't know, the navy blue is just looking more and more drab to me. But obviously that's my opinion and I don't expect you all to agree on that. The Seahawks uniforms are still all right. I've never disliked their uniforms, but I just find that their navy blue uniform, I'm just starting not to like it the same. I mean, I never loved these uniforms, but I thought the college style look, the college football style look, for some reason it's always worked for me in terms of the Seahawks. But now their navy blue uniform, I'm starting to fall out of love with it. I don't know, maybe is it because they have it's been years since they won their Super Bowl now. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But yeah, it's the Seahawks and the Rams are two teams that, in my opinion, could both do a better job with their uniforms, especially Los Angeles. Yikes. But I do hope that they wear the blue pants with the bone jersey more often. It does make that awful jersey a little bit easier to look at. I will say that. Now, moving on to what I felt was the best jersey matchup of the entire wild card weekend. The Buccaneers in their red uniform against Washington in white with burgundy socks. Washington looked great. I'm surprised that Washington wore white at home. I wasn't expecting that. But the Buccaneers in red jerseys with pewter pants and black socks, or maybe they were pewter socks too, I can't remember. Both uniforms looked great. Everything about them, I don't have a single complaint. The Ravens and the Titans wore mono navy. Unfortunately, I think that's their best uniform. And the Ravens have been wearing purple pants more. I just hope that this is eventually going to be a jersey change coming that makes the jerseys more traditional. It gets rid of that ugly 90s-ness that they have on their uniforms. But the purple pants I do like. I will say that. And Baltimore, they defeated the Titans. I was shocked. But I think what's going on is Baltimore is definitely getting hot at the right time. Lamar Jackson is looking pretty good all of a sudden again. So that's really good if you're a Ravens fan. Tampa Bay, I knew they would beat Washington. I knew that whoever got that wild card spot would be laughing. And that's nothing against Washington. It's just I know how good the Buccaneers have been, and I think they've been a little bit under the radar so far. Especially surprising considering who is their quarterback now. Tom Brady. Excuse me. Moving on, this was the worst matchup. The Bears looked perfect. Their uniform looked great. But those stupid goddamn Saints, what is with them and this black morph suit look they like so much? Like, New Orleans, for Christ's sake, stop it. They actually brought their gold pants back a week ago. Why didn't they wear them today? I mean, for Christ's sake, I'm so tired of the Saints uniforms. Just go full retro, take the Color Rush jersey, take the black throwback jersey, that's a flip of it, switch to those full-time with gold pants and gold helmets that actually have the same shade of gold, and have a matching gold jersey as a third. That's all you got to do, New Orleans. In fact, I actually think it'd be amazing if the Saints wore gold as their home color instead of black. Call me crazy. I'm sure a lot of you will definitely disagree with me on that. And if you do, I respect your opinion. But how cool would it be if there was a team that wore gold at home instead of black? Now, that would be really cool. And I think the Saints could pull it off beautifully if they did it right. So New Orleans won that game. Also, Cleveland and the Steelers. This was a historic game. The Cleveland Browns, I believe, are the first NFL team in the league's history to score 4 touchdowns in the first quarter of a playoff game. The game's final score looked a lot closer than it really was. The Browns, after waiting almost 20 years to get into the playoffs since their last playoff appearance, the Browns not only have finally made the playoffs and are finally no longer a laughingstock in the NFL, including their uniforms. The year they finally fixed their uniforms is the year they go back to the playoffs for the first time since, I believe, 2002, almost 20 years, and they actually won a playoff game, and it was their first road playoff win since 1969, I believe. Either that or 1968. I'm fairly confident it's been since 1969. I mean, it's about time Cleveland Browns fans have something to actually celebrate. They, as the commentators said in the Sunday night game on NBC tonight, Cleveland must be going crazy right now. And the Browns wore their orange pants with their away uniform, and the Steelers wore their classic home uniform. It was an unbelievable jersey matchup, but for me, I was really rooting for the Browns. That city has been waiting to see a winning team for far too long. And you know what? I couldn't be happier for the Browns and their fans. The only reason the Steelers-Browns game wasn't my absolute favorite uniform matchup of the wild card weekend was because I don't know about you, but I think the Steelers' throwback with the block font numbers is a little bit better than their regular home jersey. That's the only reason. Obviously, they never donned their throwbacks this year. I don't even think they wore their color rush at all this year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the Steelers' home uniform does still look great, but I do wish they would go to the 70s throwback full time with the matching away that use a block font instead of that italic font that they've been using since the 90s, which I don't know why they did that. They just did it probably for the sake of, hey, let's do something new. I wish that they didn't. I think that's a mistake they should fix. Now, speaking of mistakes, there's a part of the way that the Cleveland Browns new font works where there's a part of the 7 that sticks out on the right-hand side, but it doesn't stick out on the left-hand side. And that's a little tiny thing that 99.9% of viewers would never care to notice or even think about. But me, I'm part of that 1% or 0.1% that looks at that and goes, hey, Cleveland, that's a small fix you should make moving forward to your uniforms, at least in my personal opinion. But yeah, the Bucks-Washington game was my favorite uniform matchup. The Browns-Steelers was a close second, and the Bills-Colts were a very close third. And the worst matchup of all, I think I'm going to have to give that to the Seahawks-Rams because although the Saints looked absolutely horrendous today, at least the Bears know how to dress. They have a great uniform, so I got to give them a bit of credit where it's due. I would say that the Titans look better in mono navy than the Saints look in mono black. At least the uniform and the colors tie in together better than a gold helmet and everything below that stupid helmet in complete black with gold accenting and gold numbers and player names in gold. So yeah, that was a real disappointment. And New Orleans, please fix your uniforms. Please get rid of the yoga pant looks for once and for all. It's just do it. That's Nike's slogan too, by the way. Just do it. But anyway, truth is, I have been updating some video titles and some tags tonight, so that's going to be an ambitious project. I'm hoping to actually have that done before I go back to work on Tuesday, which is my next work day. But also something else I want to mention. I think moving forward, I'm going to have to make a new routine where every Sunday, whenever I do these weekly Roundup videos and I upload it, I should go on my computer, make it a routine where I go and update all the video titles and tags and stuff every week, at least once a week. I think something like that would actually be a really good idea moving forward. That way, I'm not trying to update over a dozen different video titles. So, speaking of videos, I did make an extra bonus World Junior Hockey Championship video that I uploaded earlier today for anybody who wants to watch it. It's up. What else was I going to say at this point? I have been keeping up with the Discord concept showcase. So that is one thing I've been very happy about. And to those of you on the Discord, I posted a blue concept today. And after doing that 6-week back-to-back series where I featured a whole lot of blue and green concepts, I wanted to take a bit of a break just to keep things fresh and exciting. And you know what? It was a nice blue concept today. That's for sure. Actually, I just had an idea. Do you guys want me maybe in the future to maybe feature people's concept showcases or maybe post them up here on a weekly Roundup video? I don't know. That's something I want to throw at you guys too. Should I maybe every week go on Discord and show you, I actually think that might be a cool idea, but I don't know. I'm going to leave that idea up to you guys. Maybe I will even ask that on the Discord. that's just a thought that I had. Oh, that's just my fireplace pilot light. I'm just downstairs as I'm filming this. But yeah, that's something to think about. Maybe. What else was I going to say? So, those of you on Facebook, either later tonight or tomorrow, my plan is to get that first monthly update video in 2021 uploaded either tonight, sometime later tonight, or tomorrow. So it is coming. I promise. It is coming. It's just not coming as fast as I had anticipated. And truth is, my work schedules have been a little bit all over the place this week, so it has made finding a bit of time for videos a little bit more difficult than I'd like. So next week for the weekly roundup, I am going to maybe talk a little bit of NHL, probably not a whole lot right away. But hey, at least the NHL's coming back on, because now that the NFL is starting to come to a close, at least we've got something new that we can pay attention to after that's done. So that's going to be good. That's actually going to be good. So that's definitely something that you'll start to hear me talk about in the coming weeks and months ahead. But anyways, guys, I've been talking for 22 minutes. I'm going to call this an early wrap on this video. Some of my videos have been really long lately, so for me, a video under 25 minutes a lot of times is a really, really impressive accomplishment. So I'm going to relish in that. Congratulations to the Cleveland Browns on that incredible win over the Steelers. And congratulations to the Bills and their fan base for finally getting to see their team actually win a playoff game. That's great news for two very deserving cities, in my opinion. And also, one final congratulations to the United States team at the 2021 World Junior Hockey Championship. I am still in disbelief at how the Americans completely shut down the Canadians' offense in the second half of that gold medal game. And they definitely deserve acknowledgement and a tip of the cap from myself, at least in my books. But anyways, you guys, that's going to be a wrap for this video. If you've got anything you want to comment on based on what I've talked about in this video, please feel free to do so. And until my next video, you guys, take care. And as I always say, bye for now.